What is going on, guys? WWE 2K24. Now, we are more than 24 hours past the early release of this game, so let's get into it. This time, we're going to try to. We had issues with the stuff loading last time, so we're going to see if we get a better experience this time. We're going to start by most upvoted. So here we go. We have The Rock at number 1 here. Okay. See how many votes. 913 votes for The Rock. I'm still not sure what the purpose in this is. Isn't he in the game already? Or is he not? Is there something different about his attire or something? I really don't. I'm not sure what the deal with that is, but they got him at number 1 here. And we're going to try to get into other stuff too, like arenas and championship belts. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let's take a look at this Kane. I'm wondering if that sleeveless Kane attire is not in this game, because I'm not seeing that in this on any of these community creation characters. I didn't personally pay attention when I was creating wrestlers, if that was even there, but here we go. There's a Brock. You know, let's take a look at it. Sometimes it's not easy to. Yeah, that's pretty much his face. I mean, I would say that looks like him. The only issue is the younger version of Brock should have a different build. I mean, you can't have two different builds on one created wrestler, so you would need and you would ultimately need two different Brocks. But anyway, this is definitely not bad. I mean, maybe I would do an old Brock without the sword on his stomach, you know, because that with a different build, using that same created character but making two versions of it. But that's definitely not bad, because his body does look different now. He's not as muscular, so that's definitely makes sense right there. Pete Dunne, you got Degeneration X. I think this is just an alternate attire. They can do something about that pose, though. That's kind of funny. Give him more of a Triple H like pose. That might be the 2008 Triple H that's in this, which is a pretty very good one, to say the least. Let's go to page 3. And there's a chance that this stuff can stop loading. You got Trevor. I looked at that one in the last video. Raven from ECW. Let's take a look at. Isn't Paul Heyman in this already? Or is that just an alternate attire or something? I don't understand what this stuff is. I don't know what that stuff is about. I have no idea. This status 3 templates, I don't know what that's supposed to be. But anyway, let's take a look at this old Ric Flair. Is he not in this? I think he is in this. This might just be alternate attire. That looks like a Ric Flair action figure is what it looks like. But let's take a look here. Hopefully the loading doesn't start messing up like it has been, you know. Got Trevor from Grand Theft Auto. That definitely does look like him. There's a little bit of lighting on his face. A lot of the photos, when you use the photo upload feature in this, a lot of times there'll be lighting on the face that you can't really get rid of. But, you know, that's kind of a unique idea to put him in here, you know. It's pretty cool, I guess. Spider-Man 2099, MJF. Of course, you're going to get some AEW wrestlers in the game. Of course, they're going to do that, which is really cool, you know. I feel like that looks like him. I haven't watched neither AEW or WWE in a really long time. I don't watch wrestling, really. Isn't that the same Miss Elizabeth that's already in the game? Because she has that attire. I don't understand the purpose in this. She's in this game already. Unless you have to unlock her, and this is for people who didn't unlock her or something. I don't really know. Okay. But that's kind of a shortcut. We have another Brock. Let's see what we got here with this other Brock. Okay. Yeah, this Brock, this definitely works. I mean, definitely. It looks a little bit older in the face, which makes more sense, but he isn't, his body doesn't really look like that right now, but nevertheless, this is still a good Brock. I mean, you know, it's definitely a good Brock. I would say that's a good one. Okay. What do we got here? We got the old. Let's take a look at this Kamala. Okay, that definitely works. I mean, for anybody that wants to use Kamala, that's some real old school right there, man. I don't even know if he was even still wrestling in the 90s. I know he's definitely a product of the 80s for sure. Okay. We got this Undertaker from 95. There's a lot of Undertakers in this game, by the way. Is Goldberg not in this? He might not be in the game. There's something going on with that. I don't know what it is. It resembles him a little bit, but I don't know. It's not. Something's off. I can't put my finger on it. I personally wouldn't use that one. I don't think it's bad or anything. We got Demolition Axe and Smash. Are these the same? Yeah, the same developer created, or the same creator, I should say, made both of them. I remember the Demolitions, man, when I was a kid watching them wrestle. Okay. I would assume they would have their face paint in this. I can't remember off the top of my head what their face paint looked like, but you can see it on the custom on the renders they got here. So you got Chris Jericho from '03. Wait a minute, you got a 92 Undertaker. Let's take a look at that. I'd say that's a good Undertaker. I'd say so. Let's see what else we got. Got a '03 Jericho. I'd say that looks like him. Sometimes it's hard to tell because you can't see their faces up close. But, isn't Bobby Heenan in this? Maybe that's just like a alternate attire or something. I don't know. I don't know what the deal with that is. I'm seeing a lot of people on here that are already in the game. I don't know if it's a created or modded version of them for people who didn't unlock them. I don't know, or if it's just an alternate attire. It's hard to tell sometimes. You got B-Fab. Theodore Long, he's already in the game. I don't know what the point of this is. Some of these people were uploaded on 3/4, which is one day before the early release, which they may have been in the West Coast and have gotten the game on their time, possibly. I really don't know, actually. I mean, like I said, he's already in the game, so I don't know what the deal is here. He actually used to be a referee at one time, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, is that Danny Levita? I don't know. The description says the Trashman from It's Always Sunday in Philadelphia. Oh my goodness, man. They're coming up with some random stuff to put on here, aren't they? I don't know nothing about that movie, but we're going to look at a couple more pages and then we're going to switch over to wrestling attires or championship belts. We're going to take a quick look at belts. That's what we're going to do. Why is there a Stone Cold Steve Austin on here? There is a lot of Stone Cold Steve Austins in this game. There's quite a bit. Let's take a look. It's probably an alternate attire. Okay. Why would his entrance be trunks and then all of a sudden the match starts and he's wearing jean shorts? That wouldn't make any sense. But anyway, I guess they just basically are creating multiple attires of him that you can paste, I guess, because, you know, it wouldn't make... I've done that before with my created wrestlers. Like, you know, it's pretty cool to do, honestly. We got Matt Riddle here. And again, we're looking at most voted. We're not looking at most downloaded necessarily. You would think that they would fall hand in hand, which a lot of them I'm sure do. But let's see, OBA. And leave a comment if some of these are your created characters, or if you have created stuff on here and you want me to show it on my next video, just leave a comment. I'll be sure to look into doing that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe give me your hashtags or your creator name, something like that, and I can show some of your stuff on my next video. Let's see, we got Big Papa Pump. It's a good version. I mean, I would say the skin tone is off because he had like a tan, reddish skin tone. But other than that, I think this is fine. I mean, I would certainly use it. Let's do one more page after we take a look at this Skeletor. Somebody always puts a Skeletor on here, and it's a good one. I mean, I'll tell you that. It definitely works. It looks more like an action figure than a person, but it still works pretty well. Let's go to the next page, and then we'll look at some other stuff like arenas and stuff, things like that. Got Stardust on here. I think he's already in the game, if I'm not mistaken. Here's another Goldberg. Got a 2014 Cody Rhodes. Let's take a look here. Okay. I was gonna say, is that just an alternate attire? But there's tattoos missing, and then there's the hair. It would have to be a created wrestler or a modded version. It would have to be one of those two. It couldn't be an alternate attire because you can't do nothing. Something seems off here. It's not bad, but something's just seems like it's something going on with the face or something. And a lot of times when you create the face, you also need to alter the head shape by, you know, morphing the head shape to make the character look more real. Especially if you have a bald character. Now, what are we going to look at now? We're going to take a quick look at arenas. We're not going to look at too many, but we're going to start with most downloaded. Okay, here we go. I like looking at the non-WWE based stuff more than anything. Okay, we got AEW Dynamite. Okay, that definitely looks good. And you know you're gonna have a lot of AEW, you know. And I have the AEW game. I can't really get into it. The control differences and the battle damage and stuff is hard for me to adapt to. You know, WWE is number one. I mean, it's just they just have it they just got it, man. I mean, it's incredible. And that game definitely has it's definitely not bad. It's just hard to play both, I would say. See, we got no WWF No Mercy. Oh yeah, I do. I clearly remember that ring. I remember the video game too on Super Nintendo. I'm old enough for that, you know. SummerSlam '02, Crown Jewel. Got the old SmackDown. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. And of course they're gonna give you the parts so that you can create that. But yeah, that's the early 2000s, late 90s SmackDown. I think that's when SmackDown first came out, was 99 perhaps. I I thought it was 2000, but it might be 99. Let's see what else we got. Let's go on to the next page. And these are your most downloaded. I'm not I haven't looked at how many downloads they got. People don't download arenas as much as they download wrestlers, of course. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, wrestlers are going to be the number. It's called barely legal. I mean, I like the way that flooring and stuff looks. I'm not familiar with that. I mean, I definitely like the ECW stuff. Man, there's so much you can do with WWE 2K. It doesn't have to be this version. It could be one of the previous versions. But as far as like creating old wrestlers, old arenas, creating your own promotion, your own titles, your own, the customization, I think, is the main drive for this game. We got Raw 2007. Okay. I don't know if that's accurate though. I don't. It might be. I don't know. I can't remember what looked like what on what year. Why would there be a Raw 2024 on here? Wouldn't that arena already be in the game unless they're not updated to 24 and 24 is different from 23? You know, I wouldn't know. I haven't watched it, but okay. What else do we got here? Hammerstein Ballroom. What do we got here? What is this? Okay. I don't know. And I haven't looked at custom arenas yet in this, so I don't know what all the options are. I was assuming that they would pretty much be the same with some very small differences. The Create Arena in this is awesome, by the way. You know, and the AEW game is not bad, but it's hard to catch up to what WWE 2K is doing. They are just doing the customization is just incredibly good, man. I mean, it is what keeps me glued to this game, man. I can't let this game go. We got Armageddon from 2000 and what was it? 2002 was it? Yeah, 2002. TNA Hard to Kill 24. Are they TNA still rocking right now? Okay. It's hard for me to understand what happened with TNA. How did AEW come and pass them up instantly, and TNA just kind of fell apart? What happened there? I don't know. World Class Championship Wrestling. Okay. Got some old school right here. And that definitely looks old for sure. Which is a good thing. I like having those retro, I guess you could call it. We're going to look at like two more pages and then we're going to take a look at some championship belts as well as some we're just going to look at belts. I'm not going to look at I can't really look at images because a lot of times images are I did a video, I think it was last year, and I looked at some images and I had to delete the video because the images were flagged. The images were, you know what I'm saying? They got rules for YouTube when it comes to what you show. You got OVW. So I can't really look at the images for that reason. Hopefully the belts don't have that same problem because, you know, people like to do some crazy stuff. They like to be a little over the top. You know what I'm saying? I mean, very over the top at times. But let's see what we got here. Saturday night main event. Okay, that's old school right there. All right, now we're going to go ahead and take a look at belts. They got Money in the Banks. I might even want to download some move sets, possibly. Okay, let's take a look. These are most recent. I want to look at most downloaded specifically just to see what is popular, what is popping. Got this AEW, 1,774 downloads. Leading the way right here is this AEW belt. And of course, there's going to be a whole bunch of those. You got the TNT. What is this? Let's take another look at that. Okay. Most of them are going to be either AEW or older, old school belts. Got AEW TNT belt, of course. You're going to get a lot of TNA and AEW. I mean, that's cool, right? What we got here? X Division. Not sure what that is. World Tag Champions. That looks like an old school. I'm not sure what this is based on. It kind of looks like something that's already in the game, basically, is what it looks like. But got another AEW championship. And I can't tell you which one looks more like it. I don't know. What is FTW? Is that a real promotion? I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. That 2K belt is pretty cool. This might be worth downloading, man. I kind of like it. If I use this, I wouldn't want the WWE logo on there. I would want it to not necessarily be when I create stuff, it's never based on WWE. I just like to come up with my own promotional ideas. Got SmackDown women's tag belts. Is that not in this, or is this based on an older version of it? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that's already in the game. I'm pretty sure it is. I definitely feel like I've seen it in here. Not sure why that would be even or maybe it's because I unlocked it by purchasing a certain version of the game, and they created one for people who didn't unlock that stuff. Some of the stuff you're gonna see is probably for that reason, whether it be arenas, whether it be belts, whether it be wrestlers. What is this based on? I'm not even sure. It looks pretty cool though. I've never seen WWE use that title with a red version, but nothing wrong with it. It's definitely cool. So what else do we got here? What else? What else? What else? It's never enough, right? We always want more. Of course, you got some more AEW. What is this here? BCW. What is that? A women's belt? BCW Women's Wrestling Champion. Okay, that's pretty cool. I actually, it's a pretty cool looking title with that logo in the center of it. That's very cool, you know. I should look at info for some of these belts. I haven't even created belts yet in this, or nor arenas, you know. But when I create stuff like that, it's always it's always based on promotions that I made up on my own. Got your YouTube champion. Okay. Who's going to be your champion on YouTube? Who knows? That's a pretty... I've seen that in various versions. You got a PlayStation champion. You know what I'm saying? You got all these different really cool ideas here. And I've seen this too on here. They got square and circle. You got circle and triangle. Where's X at? You guys skipped X. Nevertheless, that's still a really cool belt though. I mean, they always seem to have one of those on here, on the 2K games. Got your Bullet Club. What is this here? Gift of the Gods Championship. Now that's just odd. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know what that is. I'm not familiar with that term or that, if that's even a real promotion. Is it just a concept? I'm not sure. TBS. Let's look at one more page, because otherwise this whole video will go to waste because it'll crash. And when it crashes, none of my stuff is recorded at that point. Anyway, that's what we got right now for community creations, more than 24 hours after the release of the game.